if needed. So I have 5, so it's 5 times more.
Can we have a pen?
Yes, we will have pens here. It's not a pen, but look. But if you would want. So I would first of all welcome everyone. First of all, I would just say a few introduction to this holiday. What's going on? So I started explaining earlier to Miko, and basically in the Hebrew calendar there is 4 Novi God, 4 beginning of the year. Why there is 4? Because there is different needs. For example, this holiday, it's called the New Year's, or the head of the year of plants and trees. It's mainly connected to the halachic aspect of trees. For example, this year there is many laws connected to trees, especially in the land of Israel. If you plant the tree, you cannot eat from the fruits for 3 years. It needs to be after 3 years. In the 4th year, you can start eating. There is a big process until we allowed to eat from fruits. That's why, sounds funny, but if we see in Rimi, for example, fruits from Israel, and we can find, it's better not to eat from those fruits. Why? Because we don't know if they did of the necessary laws that are only concerning Israel. So how we counting trees year? It's from Tu Bishvat, 15 of Shvat. So this is in very general. There is 2 opinions. There is one opinion that said it's from the beginning of the month. It's connected to the beginning of the growing of the shaked. It's mandel, I think. The almonds, exactly. Okay, this is in general, but this become Jewish people like holidays. As Miko suggested, we're making a lot of New Year's because we want a lot of presents, and it may be a good reason, but also it's because the Torah, we have a lot of connection between the human being and the plants, trees, and a few other kind of plants, and also the Torah itself connected to plants. There is to oil, to palm tree, to many connections between Torah and the plants and the human being. So I chose 4 things that we can talk. So I would call it suggestions. I will suggest what we can learn from those 4 general needs of plants. Every tree needs 4 things that in order to grow, to be alive, and it's earth, water, sun, and air. Why? Because this is nature, and not only that, every human need those 4 things in order to grow. First of all, in general life, and in Judaism, in spiritual life. So, as I said, they are suggestions, but they are based on good roots, those suggestions. But every person can also can think of ideas, can write points, as that's the reason that we have this. And if you want to share also, it will be very nice. So I will start with earth. So every tree needs the ground that he's standing on. It's necessary. If not, it doesn't have roots, is not connected to the ground, and it doesn't have stability. Now, we all know all the sayings: strong roots, it's a strong tree, strong being, but it's not only that. Strong roots mean that what is the roots of a tree. If there is, we can find pictures of the roots. They are very, very big. They are much bigger than the tree. It's the same as the Jewish roots. The roots that we have, every human being have, and they are what holding us. It means that we continuing something that happened, and we really no one see, and we ourselves don't know how big are the roots. So all the work that we are doing in our life are built on the roots that we have, and we may not know the roots that we have, because we know 100 years back, we know in general what happened. We don't know what happened 1,000 years back or 2,000 years back, but they are our roots. So everything that we're doing is built on our roots, and the stronger the roots, as we said, the stronger the person. There is something funny that I heard from Rabbi Sachs. I told probably a few times that when you're going to have a visit in America, you can go to Washington to see statues and monuments, and you would see statue of Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln. There is a very big statue in Washington that he's sitting there. When you're going there, you would see speeches. How it's called? Gothenburg. I don't remember the name of the speech. The famous speeches of Abraham Lincoln is written on the memorial. Same thing. You will go to the statue of what's his name? Dr.
Martin.
What?
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther King. You would see quotes of Martin Luther King. You could go to Washington, see quotes. As Rabbi Sachs said, you're not visiting the statues, you're reading the statues. This is in America. You're going to Britain, you're going to the statue of Churchill, there is one word, Churchill. You're going to statue of Lloyd George, I don't remember his name. His name, only names, no text in the statues in Britain. In America, all the speeches. Why? So he have explanation. The explanation is that America is something that was built, was created. People from all over came. Many types of people, many types of culture. They needed to build their principle. Why we are here? Why we are proud to be Americans? Because this and this and this and this and this. They have many explanations to explain themselves. Britain don't need to explain why we are Britain, because we are 1,000 years here, and we will be here more 1,000 years, and this is it. So when you are mixed and big and separated, or in America that a lot of people in the same area, you need to remind yourself why you are strong. And this means that you remember your roots, you remember what makes you what you are, why you believe in this country, because this and this and this. And when we're talking about the Jewish nation have this system for 2,000 years. Every year, the Jewish nation meeting once a year at least, in the night of Pesach, sitting together and telling the story from beginning. Why? Because we're not building. In Israel there is no statues. There is no. Why? Because we're telling the story. We never rely on statues, building. It's not our power. Our power is by our statue is something in the head. It's something that repeating and telling the story again and again. By the way, in Israel there is no street Moses, our first leader, Moshe Rabbeinu. There is many streets, not Moshe Rabbeinu. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu, we don't need to memorize. I don't know the real reason. I'm saying what I say. Because Moshe Rabbeinu every year, the statue of Moshe Rabbeinu is in time, is not in place. Every year, we need to remember Moshe Rabbeinu at least once a year in the night of the Seder, or every Shabbat, or every day. So this is about roots. If we continuing this idea, so when a person really confident of his being, what is representing, he know his roots, he know his background, he know what make him whatever he is. We're not talking only about Judaism, yes? What he's representing, what his lifestyle means, yes? So it's much easier to accept another person. If you want to accept another person, you should be strong yourself. If you're not strong yourself, you're afraid to accept other people. So this is stability. So I think this one idea that connected to that we learned from earth, roots, and stability, that this is the beginning. A person should know exactly what his place, what his life is representing, what is life mission, from what everything is beginning. So this is first thing. Second thing that every tree needs is water. Okay, so water, it's, you know what the water doing to the roots of the tree?
It's like food. Feeding them.
Feeding them? You sure? Huh?
Yeah, hydrating.
Hydrating. Why? So, to my knowledge, and this is what I'm taking it, the water not only giving drink like to the tree, also when you're putting the water on the roots of the tree, so the roots becoming softer, and they can receive all the minerals and all the things that the ground contains, exactly. So the water is softening the roots. So from one hand, we're thinking strong roots, yes, that's what we're saying. On the other hand, we should have, we'll take it to humility. Every person needs to remember that you are comfortable, you are very confident to accept every other person because you're very confident of what we are presenting. You know, I'm a proud Jew, I'm a proud Estonian Jew, I'm a proud Russian Jew that's living in Estonia. But you also need to have a humility. It means that first of all, humility have two levels, I would say. First of all is when you seeing something, you should know to learn from it. To learn from it. You see someone, first level would say, every person that telling you something, he has something to teach you. So this is in general. This is humility in general. But it's not only that. If we're talking about believing and how the power of belief to make your life better. There is a song in Hebrew that's saying that what making a person crazy, I'm not sure if I learned it with you once or not, or it was with someone else. What driving people crazy is not the big problems. It's the small problems. When you hurry to a meeting and your shoelace was I don't know, untied, and you now this will drive you crazy. Not the big things. You trying to be here at 4, and then you ran and you slipped on the ice, and you see the tram going in front of you. I need to wait 5 minutes, and you came 4:05. So nothing happened. But this got you very nervous and got you very upset. And so humility means that a person accepting that he's not controlling everything. There is a plan. There is a plan. What will happen will happen. You part of the plan. You can change details in the plan, but whatever will happen, you will stay inside the plan. You will not go beyond the plan. Whatever happened to you, it's inside God's plan, and this is And this it is what it is. So this is humility. Humility means that I know I'm not controlling everything, and this is the basic of a more calm life. To remember this very strong lesson, and this is maybe connected to water. There is a lot of things that connected to water and tree. This is what I want to point out.
So being humble.
Humble. But what humble bring to a person? It's first of all to learn from everything, and also to accept every situation. Okay, in some level. Sun, it's the third need of a tree. What sun brings to a tree? It's light. The tree needs sun bringing light and warmth. So, what is light and warmth? I would say, as I said, after I would love to have, if there is what to discuss, it would be very nice. But first of all, light. What is light? Light is not adding. There is a famous story in Israel that they like to say in Hanukkah, when you're going to army base in Israel, the Chabad, going to army base to light the Chanukiah with all the soldiers. It's very nice. They like the donuts, they like to sing, they like to hear nice stories, and they like all crazy already before you came, so it's perfect place to light the Chanukiah with them. It's very nice. So there is a story that I went one year with my friend from base to base in Israel, and he said every place he said this story, and I always did not understand this story, but the point there is very important. That there was a king, that the king had two daughters. He liked to say daughters. The king had three daughters, and he said that he want to appoint the next queen, that she will be the leader of the kingdom, and he have a challenge. What is the challenge? To see who is the smartest. The challenge is that you have a room. You need to fill it until the end. To fill it until the end. To fill the room. And whoever succeeds, he is the smartest, so he will be the next leader. She. So the first daughter coming and putting a lot of sand, putting like as much as she can. The king coming, open the door, sand, he doesn't see anything. He taking a pin and doing like that, putting inside the sand. So he said, sorry, I just added something. So the second daughter coming and putting, she said, okay, not sand, so she put rocks, more and more rocks. The king coming, taking a glass of water, splitting on the rocks, and the water is inside. Okay. The third daughter coming, the king opened the room. There's nothing in the room, only light. And she's telling the king, you would put everything that you will put will be inside the light. You not added to the room nothing. The room is filled with light. Everything you putting in the room will be inside the light. I think you understand why I didn't like this story. But the story teaching us something very, very, very nice and very important. Light not adding physical being. If we would be in this room, imagine we're closing the lights, okay, not seeing anything. And where am I? Okay, so you can start touching things, and then try to understand, okay, there is few chairs, you will not know, it will take you a lot of time to understand that there is here a place for, 100 people. And then it will take you a lot of time to understand that there is here books, holy books, an ark, and menorah that's worth a lot of money, or many things you will not know. Light will not add anything to the room, but you would see what you have already here. You would see where you are, you would see what's the potential of everything, and you just can see, so you know. So light is not about adding something to your capabilities. It's about revealing what you already have. This is the point of light. Everything is here. We can be in a dark room. We can be in this room. We can be in empty room. We can be in a cage. It will be the same because we don't see. We don't know what we have. Light telling you what you have near you and inside you. So this is the first value of light, to show you what you have. Another thing, if we're talking about education, so light, we cannot learn or do everything in our life with only what we cannot do. We also need to put light, what we can do and what we should do and what we enjoy to do, to light our if we educating kids and ourselves. So we need to remember not only this is the dark side, also to open and to build our the light, the side with that there is more light there. This is about light. Another thing that there is in the sun is warmth. So after everything, a person have stability and humility and light. You need to have warmth, because warmth can be a place that you feel like home, can be family, can be friends, or if you're talking about we are in synagogue, so community. Community is place of warmth. A person getting from friends, getting from the environment, and feeling home, feeling like home. And this is very important to a person. Stability and humanity, and we can take it to many other places, light and warmth, yeah, of course. Okay, air. So air, it's very, very, I think it's very important. This is the last, because air is space. After everything, we know that we know our roots and our place, and we have a light and warmth, and we have humility to learn. We need to have space. What is space? I would translate it to how you say creativity, to have some imagination, to open, to achieve new things. You know that there is plants that if they have only, you give them the space, they will grow and grow. So the point is that it's not enough to know what we should and should not do, and even that the things that we should do have a lot of light in them. We like them, we enjoy them, we feel warmth, we feel comfortable, and we feel stable when we're doing what we should do. We need to have space, we need to have place to grow. From time to time, we need to jump. It's not enough to go on in the light side. We need to have jumps, to jump to a place in life that we're not connected. We were not connected before that, but because we have the space, it means that this need to be our next step. Our next step need to be where there is place, where there is space. We should go there. We should achieve new goals. And I mentioned Pesach earlier. I don't know why in Tu Bishvat we're talking about Pesach, but it's connected to our Parashat HaShavua, actually. The last parasha was the story of going out of Egypt. The holiday of Pesach is when we going out from Egypt. Egypt, it means cage, and all the Jewish people, one day were slaves, day after they were free people. And we celebrating it every year. Why? Because the same idea. We need to remember the roots. We need to have stability, but we need to remember that we need to jump, and we can jump. Every person can have to recognize is the space that he can grow into, and then to jump to this space where he can grow. So this is 4 suggestions that we can learn from trees. Thank you very much. If someone have what to Add. So
I can
yeah.
add.
Start.
I can add, but I can tell the one thing what to say. I've written it down also. That what will happen. That there is so many things what is out of our control.
Kaspar, a bit louder.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. So there was a sentence. What will happen will happen. And I think it's a very good sentence because there is so many things what is out of our control every day, and I see so many people who are like letting themselves feel down because something happened. Like for example, they missed the bus or tram or whatever. But if you like really know in your bottom of your heart that that's you're like part of the bigger God plan, and whatever happens, it will happen, and you just have to make like best choices in the way. Then you're choosing to focus only on those things what is on your control, and then you're gonna be happy. But because if you start to think all the bad things, for example, there is so many people who are saying like my life would be so much better when there would be no COVID, for example, and that's not on their control. They can't do it about that, and they're just messing up their minds and feelings because they're thinking, oh, it will be great if this will be different. But if we focus on those things, what is on our control, then we can grow and be like this stable plant who have all those four things.
Thank you very much. Who else?
I think we can add another thing to the sun.
Yeah.
It has to do with every morning that the sun comes up and we wake up. Sun gives us power to rise from the dead, and
If you wake up in the morning.
if you wake up in the morning, yeah, and you don't miss the sun.
Yeah. In Estonia, it's very easy to miss the sun.
Yeah, I just did today.
Yeah.
Anyways, the sun gives us sort of like power. We're like little batteries, and we're sort of like solar panels, I think we could say.
Yeah.
And same for the trees, greenery, like photosynthesis. Plants have to have sun, and
Yeah.
most of them need sun to continue growing and evolving.
Yeah.
And it's a very important aspect.
Thank you. Who else?
I have something a little bit negative. Can I share?
Of course.
My
That-
opinion about the roots. First of all, it's really hard to speak about roots with people from Soviet Union, where Judaism was lost,
Yeah.
and we're not. Many of us are not pure Jewish. We're mixed, so our roots are not flexible. They are flexible. So you're like, who am I? For many people still. And second is that sometimes it can be in a bad way because it can be an excuse for you, like, oh, my family for decades was not successful in this and this, so I'm the part of my family, I'm the same unfortunate, someone, which is also that doesn't give you any action, like you don't act because you
You're
know
right.
your roots, right? So don't use it as an absolute in everything. Use it only in
You're absolutely right.
where you have to be.
Yeah, that the roots is only there to make you stronger. If the roots make you weaker,
Yeah.
for example, in my house in Tel Aviv, where I grow, so this area there is a lot of big trees because it was a place with a lot of water. So they needed very big trees to drink the water. So where my house is, the one tree's the tree's root start. All my house start because the roots came under the house and start. So they needed to kill the tree. There is a way. I don't know. I didn't know that there is a way, but just.
Eucalyptus?
Huh? I think so, something like that. So roots that are excuse to make you or it's in my DNA to be lazy.
Right.
And so it's first of all I'm familiar, Second level, it's you need to kill those roots. But I want to mention that the roots that we have, if we talk about Judaism roots, is like it's something godly. It's not necessarily connected to DNA. Someone asked me, I think you asked me, if a person that converted to Judaism in the prayer was saying God of our fathers, God of Abraham, God of Yitzchak, and God of Yaakov, God of our fathers. So if a person just yesterday become a Jew, he's adopted child. So how we can say God of our fathers? So the answer is that there's no question about it. Of course, he should say God of our fathers. And if he's not saying it, he's not saying the prayer correctly. He's not being more correct, he's being less correct. And the reason is because, son-in-law can call his father-in-law father, especially in Russia, that every second cousin is like a brother. So you're part of the family. So the question is why? And the reason is because he got married. It was a holy ceremony that they declared their connection. If they just decided to adopt to a certain lifestyle, yes, so they're not really connected. It's like a business. But marriage, we all know that marriage is something sacred. Everybody understand marriage is something sacred. You're doing it in a special place with a special person that announce your marriage. Why is that? Because marriage is something sacred. What does that mean? It means that I, in my heart, now connected to this family. So to become a Jew is something spiritual. It means, in other words, in the words of Hasidut, that you got the godly part that there is in every Jew. You got it also when you become Jewish. So if we're talking about a person that he is Jewish, yes, and we're talking about his roots, we have the best roots of that every person can have. Why? Because he is he's a Jewish person. You have another roots. You have also more. It's additional. It's not taking from what you have, because the roots are spiritual mainly. I will add another small. There is a very big difference between a person that's doing something as a cultural thing, between a person that's doing it because of the holiness in it. Even though we don't understand holiness, no one understands holiness. Yes? So a person, for example, that came to synagogue and put tefillin. Why? Because Rabbi came and he had his way to pressure, and he pressured you to put tefillin, so you put it. So you can think to yourself, I put a tefillin, okay, maybe it's nice because I'm a Jew, so yeah, it's a Jewish thing to do. But the truth is that you did it because, maybe you did it because Rabbi asked, but God in the morning said when he would put tefillin. Every morning saying it. Every morning God waits to every person to do the mitzvah, to put tefillin, to give charity, to light Shabbat candles, to everything. So when you did it, so God said, oh, I asked him to do it, and he did it. Your grandfather that did it, or great-grandfather that did it, also did it. Why? Because God asked him to do it. So you did it because the same person, the same being, asked you both to do it. And 1,000 years back, your great-great-grandfather also did it because of the same reason. And 2,000 years and 3,000 years back, we're doing it, everyone, because of the same person. So this is roots. Roots means that we're doing it because of the exact same thing. Exactly the same thing. There is no one that doing something now, we all eating, and 3,000 years earlier they eating, but we're not connected. Tefillin, the same God asked us to put tefillin, or to do any mitzvah that he asked to 3,000 years back and 1,000 years from now. A person will put tefillin, he will do it because of the same reason. So this is truly connection between the Jewish nation, and this is roots. Roots is not, we think DNA, and no, this is the DNA. There is 30 years back, we lived in a totally different world. So how we can compare the challenges, everything. So this is for connection. Another idea? Yeah? Huh?
I started in 85 and I was really thirsty after Soviet, and the first book I could not, I was so thirsty, I drank and drank and drank, and I took many books from the library and I could not be filled. So the knowledges, the Torah is the water, what filled me from this time and every day.
Yeah. So Torah is water, and it's
Yes,
very absolutely true.
for me.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, you're right. Not only that, the water have a special quality that always searching to go down and to stay the same. Water going down, as we know, waterfalls and everything. And Torah have this way that it can be in many, many levels. Every person can take his level in Torah, and it will same the same quality, the same pure of Torah. There is God's Torah, there is every person have his own kind of Torah. So,
I want one idea, continue what Kasper said. And I like the idea so much. Kasper, when we think a person go marriage, chuppah in Jewish, and why do you think we do a big, great holiday, a great music and dance, and why?
in chuppah, in marriage, you say?
In marriage,
Big celebration.
for instance, only like example, and then I will say my idea.
To celebrate, to celebrate.
What you celebrate?
You're celebrating this alliance between these two people, that they're like Michi just told, that for example, like this Judaism, that they're deciding to stay together all the life, to build the life together. They're making the agreement to be together. The Jewish marriage is agreement, like.
I think everyone who is married in this room, they will say you that it's not easy after chuppah to be with another person and to live together. It is very, very difficult. It is very difficult. And we still do this holiday because we should be happy. Как будет на английском? Ликовать.
Rejoice.
Rejoice, yes. We should big rejoice. And this rejoice will help us to all difficult what is forward. This is every time, for instance, a child go to the school. Mama knows that it will be very difficult to study, but we do a great simcha.
Yes.
That this simcha will help
Very nice.
him in together. What you say now, and all who is here, nice young people, that now the last is back, by your back, and forward. It is very nice, but it's not easy, and you should rejoice physically to do holiday together with friends. That I know it's difficult, but I enjoy this. And the next step, another quality.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like this idea.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
finished.